Welcome to another episode of the Humm. My name is Sally.
Kevin.
And that's us.
That's who we are.
See you later. No. Today we're talking about Google Ads, but not in the way that maybe you've seen in previous episodes.
Yep.
This is more so if you've tried Google Ads and not seen the best results. A lot of people, a lot of businesses, they'll try them really quickly, they don't see results, and so they walk away and they're like, We're never coming back, we're never doing this again, what else can we do? We've seen, or at least I've seen, businesses do this, and then I go in and I do an audit into what they've done before, and there's usually a ton of missed opportunity there.
Yeah, I would say that's kind of like a key thing right there is if you try with other agencies or done it in-house and you go to an agency, you know, like, hey, we think there's a way if it works. Seems like our competitors are in Google search or Google Ads or Google Shopping, and we're not there, we can't find success. Are they just losing money and not being successful, or are we missing the way it's done? You said like we do an audit in the beginning. That should be your first thing when you go to an agency is they're not just like, oh sure, we'll just turn things on and start going. There's a reason. You should be laying out a strategy for it. If there's good opportunity, we've seen clients that are smaller businesses go into a very competitive space where there are big players like Dick's Sporting Goods, where you're like, well, they're doing well, but we don't see a lot of our smaller competitors. An audit can uncover the why. Yeah. So I would say that's a really good kind of thing you just said there is start that audit to make sure that research is done.
Absolutely, because it's basically a chess game.
Yeah.
You know, every agency or Google Ads professional will have a different strategy, I believe.
Of course.
So that's just like a painter, if you will. So I love audits to be able to analyze what someone has done before to figure out why it didn't work. And sometimes the cost is just far too great to receive that kind of revenue. But the majority of the times there are other opportunities there that are missed. That doesn't guarantee that those opportunities are going to work. But as any business, I would always recommend to try something first before you completely quit altogether.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you've got we've talked before about your Google Shopping ads.
Yep.
So you Google cat socks.
A great example, yes.
It's my favorite. And you actually see pictures of cat socks or socks for cats. That's your Google Shopping ads. And then search, which is going to be your ads above the organic listings. Yep. That's where you get far more in depth. We've seen 2 platform changes in the last year alone with Google, and countless changes with everything that you can do within search, which is very important, especially because a lot of those changes are giving Google more money without you realizing it. So you may not have made a change, but Google's made a change for you. They'll send you a warning about it, and you have to go in there and make sure that you're utilizing the right settings in your strategy, because you think you're just on the Google search network when you could actually be on one of their partner networks or display networks, and that does not work for everyone. Right,
I mean, it can be valuable, but a lot of times it can be money not well spent.
Yeah, you have to know what your strategy is going in and which type of networks are going to work best for you. Of course, trying them out and getting the data and analyzing that will better your strategy in the future. But you just have to be aware that every day there's changes within Google. But there was more this last year than I think I've ever seen within Google Ads alone. That tells me there's more to come. So to make sure you're staying on top of your education and your settings. Oh my goodness, I can't stress that enough, how many times I've gone into settings and knowing that I did not, make a change or a certain feature was not there before, which isn't always bad news. That can be good news too with the extensions.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, the new features are nice. It's just, again, when you go in there and if someone's on autopilot and you're now with a good agency, or you're doing it in-house, you're just trying to make it work and test it out. If it's you kind of have everything set up and you kind of wondered now, why didn't in between December and May when I didn't really touch it, what changed here? Because spend is way up or traffic is way down or whatever it is. So sometimes Google's not the best at bringing that out, I guess.
Well, whenever Google makes a change, it's kind of like, in my opinion, throwing a dart with one eye closed.
They do test
your
a
good
lot,
eye.
and they will put out features and pull features and tweak features, and so you really have to be vigilant.
It's a little bit of pandemonium sometimes. And I would say I hope no one is not touching their ads between December and May. Just throwing that out there. But I mean, maybe that works for some people, but no, because there's just so many changes. You have to make sure that the strategy that you went into, which of course is going to change every quarter or so, is still consistent with Google's changes, and then implementing their new changes with any new strategy going forward.
Right.
If that's not super confusing.
Oh, that makes sense.
I think that the main message here is to make sure that if you've tried Google Ads and spent a lot of money and not seen a lot of return, before you completely bail on the idea of running ads on Google, is to at least, in the very least, perform an audit.
Yeah.
Whether you do that internally or ask questions on our perspective or on our social network. We're always happy to answer those questions, because there's so much in there. And I said it a million times, but there's so much change that there's a lot to see. And usually we see a lot of missed opportunity. So
yeah, absolutely.
do the audit.
Yeah, that's great to uncover stuff. Yeah, so we're going to have a link below for our perspective, which is an article kind of going deeper into this topic and showing different types of ads there are on Google.
More
so
visual.
Make sure you guys, absolutely.
Yeah. For you visual people out there, the article will have screenshots to show the platform, where to go, what you're looking at. It would be really helpful if you're trying to do this internally for a first step as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, so check that out, and please leave comments below. We'd love to hear questions you guys have, feedback you have. Yeah, thanks for watching.
And we'll see you next time on the Humm.